I'm Peter Hubbard. I work for c2c's fleet department looking after the trains at East Ham Depot. I've worked for c2c for 25 years and have quite an interest in railways, and I've written a number of articles for our company magazine on the history of the line. Stockton and Darlington Railway opened on the 27th of September 1825, so this year represents 200 years of public railways in Britain. The Stockton and Darlington Railway was mainly for freight, particularly coal, up in the northeast of England. In 1830, the Liverpool and Manchester Railway became the first intercity railway, and just a few years later, in 1840, London and Blackwall Railway opened from a station called Minories, very near to Fenchurch Street, to Blackwall Dock. It was really the first commuter railway, as it was designed to take passengers the short distance from the City of London to Blackwall. In the mid-19th century, railways were the latest technology and were developing fast. The promoters of the London and Blackwall Railway decided to use stationary steam engines at the side of the railway line, pulling a rope along to which the carriages were attached. To stop at the intermediate stations, the carriages let go of the rope. This system proved to be unreliable. After only a few years, railways started to use conventional steam locomotives to haul the trains. And the London and Blackwall Railway soon extended their line to join up with the Eastern Counties Railway, which ran from Liverpool Street. The original viaduct for the London and Blackwall Railway can still be seen along the c2c line from Fenchurch Street to Limehouse, and it continued on what is now the Docklands Light Railway on towards Canary Wharf. Fenchurch Street Station is the oldest terminus within the City of London. In 1854, the London, Tilbury and Southend Railway opened from a junction with the Eastern Counties Railway at Forest Gate to Tilbury via Barking. Tilbury was expected to be a major source of business, as Gravesend on the opposite bank of the Thames was a huge tourist attraction for wealthy Victorians, with 1 million passengers travelling by Thames steamers in 1850 to enjoy the nearby gardens. The line then continued to Southend, as the London, Tilbury and Southend Railway promoters had hopes of developing the areas around Purfleet for middle-class residential purposes, and Southend as a resort. Such mid-19th century ideas reflected the wide social spectrum of the time and highlighted that the railways not only changed the areas they served, but created entire new communities. The London, Tilbury and Southend Railway has always been heavily reliant on commuters for its main source of revenue. Throughout the 19th century, rail travel rapidly expanded, as the only alternative was the horse or walking. In South Essex, London, Tilbury and Southend Railway extended to Shoeburyness in 1884 and built additional routes from Barking to Upminster and onward to Pitsea in 1885 and from Romford to Grays in 1893. Extension of the District Railway connected the London, Tilbury and Southend Railway at Bow in 1902, allowing through trains from Southend to Ealing in West London. Additional tracks had to be built to accommodate services for the expanding numbers of commuters, and from 1908, frequent electric trains using the 3rd and 4th rail system started running to East Ham from the District line. This was later extended to Barking and in 1935 to Upminster.
Doors opening.
It was not until the early 1960s that the remainder of the LT and SR routes were electrified using the 25 kV overhead system, resulting in the last peak hour steam-powered passenger trains running in 1962. In addition to enhanced passenger facilities such as air conditioning, today's Class 357 EMUs and the new Class 720/6 EMUs are capable of regenerating electricity when braking. This feature provides over 20% electricity consumed by the trains, making the electrified railway the most environmentally friendly form of mass transportation. The original London Tilbury and Southend Railway route of 1854 included a branch line to Thameshaven, the intention being to gain freight traffic to London in preference to ships on the river. Later, large docks were built at Tilbury, which attracted freight from all across the country. Whilst not c2c trains, freight over the c2c route from the docks at Tilbury and London Gateway are a growing part of today's railway, forming an environmentally friendly way of moving thousands of containers. Each of the 45 trains per week from London Gateway removes 70 trucks from the road, generating 76% less CO2 per tonne. The route also sees freight that has come through the Channel Tunnel, an engineering marvel that those travelling on the Stockton and Ironton Railway 200 years ago could not even dream about. Here we are at the end of the c2c line at Shoebury-Ness. This station was opened in 1884 as part of the original railway. As you can see, the station building is actually very much in original condition, and recently we're painting it to make it look even better. The engine shed was on the north side of the line, and as well as home to many of the locomotives that worked to Fenchurch Street, it also hosted locomotives from all over the country that brought excursion trains to Southend, replenishing coal and water and turning them on the turntable, ready to take the holidaymakers home again. There have always been extensive carriage sidings on the site of the largely commuter-based railway, with the majority of trains spending the night over here ready to take the commuters to London in the morning. From the yard, a line extends into the MOD site at Pigs Bay. These ranges were used extensively during both World Wars, and a garrison at Shoebury-Ness was home to hundreds of soldiers. More recently, the site has been used to store trains awaiting scrap, but sees little rail activity now. We're out at Thorpe Bay. This station was opened in 1910, especially for the well-to-do Southendites who travelled up to the City of London. The station building is very much in the original condition. It's one of the best kept on the line. The next station on the line is Southend East. This was a latecomer to the line, but only been built in 1932. It was built in 1932 especially to take the pressure off of Southend Central in the summer season and on bank holidays, when thousands and thousands of people came to Southend for day trips to enjoy pier and the other attractions. As Southend East was built especially for tourists, there was no platform for the Shoebury-Ness direction. Southend Central was the original destination of the London Tilbury and Southend Railway and opened in 1856. Originally, the planners wanted the railway to run along the river bank and terminate near the pier, which by 1854 was already the longest pier in the world at 1.3 miles. Unfortunately, the residents of Royal Terrace at the top of the cliff objected to the thought of the smoke from the steam engine spoiling their view, and a more inland route was taken. Of course, Southend is famous for another railway, the one along the pier. This opened in 1890 and it's famous for its electric trains. This is Westcliff Station. This was added to the line in 1895 as the population of Southend spread out. It's now not only used by holiday makers going to the beach, but by theatre goers going to the nearby Cliffs Pavilion. The next station is Chalkwell. This was added to the line in 1933 because of the growing number of commuters and housing in this area. It's unusual and it's built right on the riverbank. Being built in the 1930s, this station was built to the Art Deco style prevalent at the time, and it's still very much in that original condition. We've just passed the site of the original Leigh-on-Sea station. This was built in 1856 and the line cut right through the centre of the village with a level crossing to access the High Street. The original station was replaced by a more spacious one here towards London in 1934. But the original station is now used as a sailing club. Leigh-on-Sea is famous for cockles, and what is now the gents' toilet was a cockle shed where cockles were stored ready to be put on trains to go up to London to the markets. Benfleet Station opened in 1856 and is a railhead for Canvey Island. Pitsea Station opened with the original line in 1855, but it became a junction in 1888 when the Southend direct line to Barking was opened.
This provided more capacity for the growing number of commuter trains from the Southend area and also speeded up their journey.
Tilbury Riverside Station opened in 1854 with the original London, Tilbury and Southend Railway line. It was the main objective for the promoters of the railway, as they hoped to get lots of traffic from the river boats that ran to and from Gravesend. Gravesend at that mid-Victorian time was a big tourist attraction with gardens on the south bank. Extensive docks were opened at Tilbury, which provided the promoters of the London, Tilbury and Southend Railway with a lot of traffic. This continued into the 1930s when the docks were expanded greatly and included cruise liners travelling to far-flung places like the Mediterranean, as well as ferries up and down the Thames. One of the most famous boats to arrive at Tilbury docks was the Empire Windrush, bringing West Indian immigrants to Britain. It arrived at Tilbury docks on the 22nd of June 1948 after 30 days at sea.
Basildon Station was a latecomer, only built in 1974 especially for the new town, and today is one of the busiest stations on the line.
Leydon Station opened in 1888 when the direct line opened. Leydon Station has a famous resident, and there's a blue plaque commemorating the childhood home of carry-on film legend Joan Sims.
West Horndon opened in 1886 as East Horndon. A year after the direct line opened, it was renamed West Horndon in 1949. Like many of the stations on the line, the original goods yard has now become the station car park. Upminster opened in 1885 at the centre of the new Southend Direct Line. It became a junction in 1892 when the London, Tilbury and Southend Railway opened a branch line to Grays and then to Romford. This line was built mainly to prevent other railway companies gaining access to Tilbury docks. When the District Line service was extended to Upminster in 1932, the route was split and a shuttle service ran on each half of the former through route. In 1996, the entire route was re-signalled, all controlled from an integrated electronic control centre, which replaced all the small signal boxes along the route. Built for the new electric multiple units in 1960, East Ham Depot is on the site of a former carriage siding. The large shed has 11 inside roads and provides all routine maintenance for the 86 Class 357 and 720/6 electric multiple units. Tilbury Riverside Station was opened in 1854 as Tilbury Fort. This was a main traffic objective for the promoters of the London, Tilbury and Southend Railway. A triangle junction north of the station allowed Southend trains to avoid the reversal at Tilbury. The station closed in 1992. Special trains were run to and from Tilbury Riverside and St Pancras, as Fenchurch Street was too busy to accommodate them, travelling via Barking and the Tottenham and Forest Gate Railway line. At Gravesend in Kent, the pier was built by the London, Tilbury and Southend Railway, especially for the ferry service that started at the same time as the railway opened, with 3 paddle steamers running regularly to both Gravesend Town Pier and the nearby Rocherville Gardens, a popular leisure destination for affluent Victorians. Tilbury Town was opened in 1885 as Tilbury Dock. There was once a long footbridge linking the station to the docks, which opened in 1886, and the train service was specified by the East and West India Dock Company to suit its workers' shifts. East Tilbury opened in 1936, the main traffic being a large shoe factory. Grays Station opened in 1854. The station now has a bay platform used when trains shuttle to Upminster. Rainham Station opened with the line in 1854 but was resited in 1962 when the route was electrified. One station that no longer exists is Purfleet Rifle Range Hall. Opened in 1921 and closed in 1948. The station included a War Department siding for the Rangers. Purfleet opened in 1854. This section of line adjacent to the river later became heavily industrialised with chalk pits and cement works and many riverside wharfs. Many freight trains still run today, but mainly container trains from the docks at Tilbury and London Gateway. Dagenham Dock was opened in 1908 and is unique on the London, Tilbury and Southend Rail system in that it was built due to the growth in industry rather than housing. Whilst the dock with the name remained relatively small, the Ford factory, built in the 1930s, provided large numbers of passengers as well as freight. Ockenden Station was opened with the branch line in 1892. The station was the only passing place on the single track line. In the 1920s, the station regularly won Best Station Garden competition. Chafford 100 station was opened in 1995 to serve the large lakeside shopping centre. The branch now sees regular through trains between Fenchurch Street and Southend once again throughout the day. Barking Station was opened with the line in 1854 as a simple two-platform station adjacent to the level crossing. Today's station will be unrecognisable to the Victorians. It soon became a junction in 1858 when the London Tilbury and Southend Railway built its own line to Bow, avoiding the need to join the congested Eastern Counties Railway at Forest Gate. It was again rebuilt in 1961 for the electrification and a spacious concourse with concrete beams provided. This structure is a now listed building. West Ham Station was opened in 1901 with separate District Line and London Tilbury and Southend Railway Island platforms. However, the LT&SR ceased to call in 1913 and the platform was removed in 1956. However, in 1997 a replacement island platform was built and the station gained an interconnection with the North London line, and from 1999 the newly built Jubilee line. From 2011 the North London line route has been used by Docklands Light Railway trains. In 1858 a connecting spur known as Abbey Mills Junction was built, allowing passenger trains to run from Fenchurch Street to North Woolwich. The passenger service ceased in 1940 as a wartime economy and never resumed. West Ham is one of the route's busiest stations with over 9.5 million interchanges in 2023-24, many commuters heading for either Canary Wharf or Stratford. Finally, in 1902, the Whitechapel and Bow Railway connected to the London Tilbury and Southend Rail line. This allowed through working from the London Tilbury and Southend Railway to the District Line and the West End of London. Once electrified in 1908, London Tilbury and Southend Railway steam locomotives were replaced by District Railway electric locomotives at Barking for the journey across London.
We're currently at Limehouse Station. The original 1840 route of the London and Blackpool Railway is now the Docklands Light Railway, which can be seen behind us.
The platforms that c2c now use at Limehouse Station were added in 1849 as part of the Blackpool Extension Railway to Bow. The name was changed to Limehouse in 1987 in connection with the Docklands Light Railway opening. The line between Fenchurch Street and Limehouse was opened as part of the rope-worked London and Blackwall Railway in 1840. There was a station at Shadwell which closed in 1941. The present-day Docklands Light Railway Shadwell Station is partially built on the site. All along this section line, various freight depots were built, and the largest, the London Tilbury and Southend Railway's own commercial road depot. Fitting in all these freight trains amongst the frequent passenger trains must have been a hectic job for the signallers at each junction.
Fenchurch Street Station is the oldest terminus within the City of London.
We hope you enjoyed the history of what is now the c2c route, and have had a chance to look at some of the other Railway 200 events that have been taking place. Here's to the next 200 years of the railways.